On this Food City Friday, once again, we welcome in Chef Julie. And Julie, it is definitely apple season. The fall is here.
Season,
yes.
I know. And I went through my little archive of all the apple segments I've done for y'all over the years. And it was kind of hard to find something I hadn't already done.
But you found something.
But I found something, and it was something I've not done before, which is an apple brown Betty. For years I'd heard of brown Betties. I didn't know what they were. But you do use a lot of brown sugar, and of course they look brown. And you can use different fruits. Obviously, we're going to use apples. And so let's talk about these beautiful apples. These are Honeycrisp, which are just so delicious. But if you notice, they don't all come in the same size.
Right.
So I don't like it when recipes say use 4 apples or use 5 apples, because 5 of these and 5 of these are very different from each other. So I'm telling y'all, start with 4 cups of apples. And I've already done some peeling here, but we're going to show you. I had bought this contraption years ago. Has saved me so much time over the years.
You've got your use out of this.
I have got my use out of it. So, I mean, they're just so much fun.
Right.
I'll do the big one, because that's the one that's a little more weird. But you just put, and you can do apples of different sizes.
Right.
Oh, now there it
goes.
And
this not only peels, it cores.
It cores
and it slices.
And it slices. So you just run it right on through there. And if you get a little bit of peel, it doesn't come off. It's okay. It's not a big deal.
I'll help you out here.
All right.
And get those peelings.
Get that peel out of the way.
Right.
And then when you've done that, you just cut it. And you can either cut them in half, or this is a big apple, I'm going to cut into 4s.
Depends on what your recipe calls for.
Exactly. And there you've got it. You want to try one?
Sure.
Yeah, let's get this off of here. And we'll let you do one. So I'll cock it for you.
All right, so that slides back.
Yep, and you just jam
push
that
on there like that.
Yep, and then just crank away.
All right.
Yep, and just keep on
going. Got to get it up. There we go.
Just keep the momentum going.
There we go.
There you go.
All right.
You just take it all the way through, and it slides right off, and it's really, really handy.
Man, that's handy dandy.
Isn't it? You've got a bunch of apples to process. It just makes it so easy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think we're good to about the 4-cup spot there. Now, we're going to pour a juice of a lemon.
Okay.
And this is 2 to 3 tablespoons. It doesn't have to be exact.
All right.
But we just want to put that in there and kind of coat those with it.
Okay.
So that takes care of our apple business.
All right.
The next part of this thing, we want to prepare our pan, and we're starting with an 8x8 glass pan. All right. Got me some nonstick cooking spray. We're just going to like that.
Give it a good coating.
Give it a good coating. It just helps it release easier later. Not a big deal. And so the brown Betty is different from an apple crisp. There's no oats.
Right.
And instead of just putting the topping on top, you layer it
throughout
the dessert.
Right.
Okay. So the way the crumbs are done, you can do breadcrumbs or you can do flour. And I did a flour-based one. I figured everybody's got flour in their house. You might not have dry breadcrumbs sitting around. So we start with 3/4 cup of flour, and we're going to put in these wonderful spices. Take a big smell of that. It's so good.
Oh.
We got cinnamon and cloves.
That smells like fall.
Yes, it does. And nutmeg. And nutmeg is really the key here for me. In fact, I've got a nutmeg grater. This is my.
You've got all the cool gadgets.
You know, if men knew how many tools you could have in the kitchen, there'd be more men in the kitchen.
You got all the gadgets.
This is one of my favorites. It's a little nutmeg house. It even has a little place up top to store your nutmeg, and then you can just grate it up. So we'll do some of that later on. But anyway, I'm just going to sift this around, and then we add sugar. I've got brown sugar, 2/3 cup of brown sugar, and 1/3 cup of white. And if you go to bakingwithjulie.com, the recipes are there. Very much there, so you won't miss a thing. So we're going to put this together.
Okay.
In fact, I'm probably going to use the best tools God gave us, which are my hands. Now, I will confess that the next step is easier to do in a food processor.
Okay.
And I have some I've already made. But if you, the next step is to add the cold butter. You add 1 stick of cold butter. I like to shred it in and then use a little pastry blender. But that's going to take a little while.
Right.
So we're just going to set that aside. And by the magic of television,
you've already
ta-da! And that's what yours will look like if you do it by hand.
I want to ask just from cold butter. You got to make sure it's cold.
It needs to be cold butter is better. It is. It's going to mix in better, and that's really what you want is cold butter. Okay. So once you have it done, now it's the fun part. We're going to take about half the apples and put in the bottom. Just like that. So that's pretty simple. Just spread them out there. We're going to take about half of the crumb mixture and layer that on next. See, this is not hard. Putting it together is the easy part. Honestly, I think just getting the flour and butter together takes the most time as far as that goes.
Incorporating that cold butter in there. Yeah.
But there's a fair amount of topping here.
That butter is going to make everything taste really rich.
It is, and it's going to melt, and it's going to just make this really nice caramely kind of thing. Now we take the rest of the apples, and if there's going to be lemon juice in here, pour it in. Because the flour is going to help thicken the sauce. Any juices that come off of this apple and the lemon,
tart in
you want that lemon in there, y'all. You don't skip it. And if your apples need a little help, you can add a little extra lemon. We've got that done. Now we put on the rest of this topping on the top. You've had your oven preheated to 350 degrees. We spread that out, and I cover mine with foil for about a half hour, 40 minutes. I check with a fork to see if my apples are tender, and then bake an additional 10 minutes without the foil, so the top gets kind of crunchy and caramelized, and apple brown Betty, there you go.
All right. We're going to come back here in just a little bit, though, because she has this special nutmeg sauce that she's going to show us how to make, not only for this dessert, but for several other desserts. It is Food City Friday, and we want to encourage you to go to foodcity.com. Also, first of all, go to bakingwithjulie.com, and then go to foodcity.com to find out about all of the products that we used in this recipe today.